Hi there. Welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel after quite a long dramatic pause. I went on vacation and so I thought I might miss 1 or 2 weeks of recording, and then I got COVID and I was in no way ready to do public speaking. So it's been quite a long pause, but I did have quite a bit of time on my hands to do some reading. So that was, silver lining. I actually finished the to be read shelf, which makes sense. It's been a little bit, and I have, like I said, I've had quite a bit of time hanging out, resting, and reading some really good books. This collection of to be read, really good stuff. I had not that much nonfiction. I wonder if this is a coincidence, but I enjoy nonfiction, but sometimes it is sort of eat your vegetables, good for you stuff. And I had some good things. I had this book, I got this at a bag sale. I'm not sure I would have sought it out, but because it fit in there, it seemed good. The History of England by Jane Austen and Charles Dickens, with an introduction by David Starkey. David Starkey writes some really cool historical nonfiction, really amazing research, usually British history, British royal family, things like that. He's written some really good books and I enjoy his writing style. This is small excerpts that Jane Austen wrote and Charles Dickens wrote about England, and he does a really good job with the introduction, but these are, obscure. This is not their really like in their wheelhouse. It's not their fiction. It's not their great stuff, but it was interesting. It was probably good for me. This is a cool one, Codename Lisa, by Larry Loftis. This is really cool. It's about a woman who was a spy in World War II, who's really not a well-known figure. She was a spy. She was kind of a secret. But she was highly decorated, maybe the most decorated spy in World War II, men or women. Her life story is fascinating. I recognize this title because it was on a list. My husband gave me a list of that he found on the internet of women who in World War II, women spies in World War II, women in the military, and this was one of the books on the list. And it was really cool. It's very detailed. She was in prison for a long time, and that's not great to read about when you're in isolation. But other than that, really, thumbs up. It was really good. It was very well written. It was very interesting, and I've never heard any of that story before, so that was really cool. The Secret Rooms by Catherine Bailey. I've read this before. I kind of had this thought at one point, I'd like to read that again, but I did something with my copy, and I ran across it, and it was $1, $2 maybe. So I picked it up again and read it again. It's a little muddled. Is it because I was under the weather? Or is it actually, if anybody else has read this, please let me know. Was it muddled because I was muddled, or is the book a little muddled? Let me know. Interesting though, very Downton Abbey period, very interesting intrigue. I love the descriptions of the manor house. It was good in a lot of ways. Upon reflection, I'm thinking it was because I was under the weather that I had a hard time following it. Who knows? A lot of really good fiction. This is really fun. To Kill a Mockingbird, I loved this book. High school, I read it a bunch of times. Like so many of us, it's really part of your consciousness. But I don't remember entirely the plot, which was interesting to reread. I did not have a copy. This is one of those books that if you find this at a used book sale or at a good price, this is a book club edition, which means it was reprinted later. Probably lower quality paper, or in some ways they're economizing the publishing and then making it available to subscribers. So usually Book of the Month clubs don't really retain value. The To Kill a Mockingbird is one of the exceptions. This on eBay is going to cost you $25 to $50 in good condition in any format. So this one, very helpful, says Book of the Month club somewhere. Is it on the... and the person who owned it wrote Book of the Month Club right here. 1990, so I don't know if that was when it was published. There is this cool insert, which is an intro about this particular edition. And in any event, I was talking about Harper Lee, the author, and Truman Capote, who knew each other in real life and probably influenced each other's works. And I realized I didn't have a copy, and so I thought I should pick up a vintage copy. I should hang on one of these. And I found this right away. It is in beautiful condition, so it was kind of a joy to read. Very good. Really glad I had that opportunity to read it again. The Husband's Secret by Liane Moriarty, and I have not even taken this to girl. I did not get this at Target. I got it used, and I loved it. This is so good. There is a murder, but it is not a murder mystery. It is suspenseful, but I don't really think it's a suspense book, but gossip and intrigue and how these people interrelate. Very fun read. I said to my friend, you would really like this. And she said, I did. I told you about it. I keep this list of books people tell me are good, and then I try to find copies, and I don't keep track of where those books came from, and it is embarrassing. But this, so good. I also thoroughly enjoyed. It's set in Australia, and we don't get a lot of books written in English that aren't set in the United States. So I really kind of enjoyed this. Right, there's more to the world, and it's Easter, and they're talking about sort of sweater weather. I also was very aware I lost my smell, and I was very aware this book does. It tells you the smells of things and how things taste, how things sound. The setting is really good and vivid, even though I've never been to Australia. I thought that was a really cool aspect of the book, that it seems like they've really kind of invested in setting you in the scene. It's somewhere else. So good. Loved it. Charlie Lovett. Okay, a friend of mine told me about Charlie Lovett. He writes books that are centered around authors, and that's in books and things like that. It seems really fun. I read a previous book of his, The Bookman's Tale. It was good. There were some things in it that just didn't resonate with me because of my life experience. It's nothing to do with Charlie Lovett. And then this one, First Impressions, is about Jane Austen. It's good. There are some great twists and turns, some mysterious, some great interactions, really good stuff. Loved it. Highly recommend. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This, the best reviews. So incredibly popular. I've been looking for a copy for a long time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I understand the reviews. Really good. Generational, long, epic tale. Really, really good. Recommend that highly. The Mystery of Mrs. Christie by Marie Benedict. Marie Benedict writes these great books that are really well-researched historical novelizations of lives of women in history. It's sort of like women who maybe aren't known for their own accomplishments. So these are often people who, the wife of Albert Einstein, in this case, I don't know. Agatha Christie is fantastic in her own right. She's obviously incredibly accomplished. But the story, her real life story about her first husband is wild. And this is a great retelling of it. I loved it. I really like her books in general. I think she does a great job, like I said, that research and the real history of them, I think, are really great. So I enjoyed that one. Chris Bohjalian, maybe. The Lioness. So some of his books are just awesome. He wrote The Flight Attendant. I think the first season of that show was really great, and then they ran out of book, and I'm not sure if the second one is really great. But in any event, this book, so good. And the afterword was really interesting. He said that he went on sort of a research trip and was getting ready to write this book, and then he was in lockdown. So he said that it did kind of influence the plot and how the book progressed, sort of with his mindset and what he was thinking about at the time. It is so good. It is sort of golden age Hollywood and African safari and intrigue. So it was really good for a setting. The historical research was really top notch. The characters are really vivid and exciting, and stuff happens. So good. Really enjoyed that. Kate Quinn wrote some amazing books. I really loved The Rose Code, I think was my favorite. This, though, The Huntress, also extremely good. That's the weird thing about World War II. Why are there so many good novels set in World War II? I don't know. But it does sometimes make me think that I'm reading too many things about the same thing. But she does do a great job. It does seem to be her favorite setting. This book was really, really good. I think I liked The Rose Code a little bit better just because it has a little bit more complexity, I think. I could be wrong. Ruth Ware, never disappoints. The Turn of the Key. She writes these great suspense, really good sort of mystery, but just really very tightly woven. Really, you're really going to be on the edge of your seat by the end of it. page turner books. I think she's fantastic. This one, the setting is in a smart house, and I just didn't love that. There was just something about it that felt really clunky to me. Um, because part of the setup, the things that makes it really exciting in a suspense book is that it could have been anyone, right? We have all these candidates, it could have been anyone. And because smart homes, it sort of reminds me of when email was a new concept and how email was described in books and movies. It seemed very mercurial. That's how the smart home is. It's hard to know. We're not that familiar with how they work. So it's hard to be confident that, oh, this could have happened or this couldn't have happened. So it just seemed, as a plot point, at some points in the book, it just seemed like this choice of setting was a little bit awkward. Maybe could have been me, possibly because my husband loves home automation and there are lights I can't turn on by myself. But so that might be a personal thing. If you loved The Turn of the Screw, please let me know, and let me know if you think that it's just because of my experience with smart homes. Distinct possibility. In any event, all of these books were really great. I think for the nonfiction, I did really love the Codename Lisa. I thought that was my favorite one. And for the fiction, so many good books. And the problem is I'm running out of shelf space. So which of these are going to stay and which of them are going to find a new home, I don't know. But I'm super excited to set up a new to be read shelf. This system is really making me happy, where I have a lot of books that I've purchased and at bargain prices, and they're all waiting to be read. And I used to get a little anxious about, like, they're kind of weighing me down. And now if I just pick one shelf at a time and try to get a mix of nonfiction and fiction, books that I think that I should read, books that are going to be fun to read, get a nice balance going, it really feels like I'm accomplishing something while I'm reading them. And now I'm thinking, it's almost fall. I'm very excited for fall this year. I'm really into the autumn vibes, maybe because it's just really hot out still. It's August. And I'm thinking maybe Halloween. I have some stuff that's waiting to be read, and I've been considering holding on to them until Halloween time. So maybe I'll get some fall stuff going. That'd be really fun for the next one. So stay tuned for that. I'll do a video of what I'm going to read and how I'm setting it up, and that'll be really fun for me. If you enjoy these, please let me know. I really appreciate everybody who is subscribing and sticking it out while I was missing in action, and everybody who comments and tells me about what they're reading and collecting. I think it's really great to hear from people. So thank you to everybody who's doing that. Let me know if you've read the books that I just read, if you liked any of them in particular. I'm always game to hear about it. And then let me know after the next one, if you enjoy these videos, should I keep doing the to be read shelves? I do some shopping videos and people seem to really like those too. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much and happy reading.